Hey guys, so today I'm going to be sharing with you my labor and delivery story, and it is quite a story, quite an experience. I have no words. So my son was born on the 9th of May, and that was the most life-changing experience I've ever been through. And I'm just happy right now. He couldn't be more perfect. So I was actually due on the 29th of April and had my mood-off appointment. Okay. See, when I want to film videos now, I have to work with his schedule because he's my new boss. And he recently got his vaccinations, so he's been a bit grumpy. But anyway, he was due on the 29th of April. I don't know how long. This video is going to be pretty long, so I'd probably say get comfortable, but I'll try and highlight the main points. I feel like he's about to wake up. So my due date was the 29th of April. And if you watched, I think, my last video where I talked about my hospital bag, that was on the Friday, I'm just looking at the calendar, Friday the 5th of May. And I had my midwife actually booked me in to do a membrane sweep just to kind of kickstart labor. And I was actually scheduled in for my membrane sweep on the Saturday, which would have been the 6th of May. So obviously I'm now overdue by 1 week. And I'm praying because obviously I've heard experiences where if you're induced, the pain is more. So I was praying that I would just start naturally, that he'd come when he was ready. So come Friday, I'm there filming my What's in My Hospital Bag video, and I'm feeling great. I'm bouncing on my Swiss ball, trying to get labor going naturally. And then I go to bed, and then around 2 in the morning, I feel a bit crampy, but I'm like, I kind of brushed it aside. I went back to sleep. And then about 5, I was like, okay. So I went to the bathroom and my mucus plug came out. And then I was so excited. I was like, oh, yes, I don't have to have my membrane sweep. So Saturday, I just spent the day in bed. I watched a movie, chilling. I didn't call the hospital. I was just chilling the rest of the day. My contractions were kind of coming maybe every 15 minutes, and then they'll stop for ages, and then they'll start again and start coming like every 10 minutes, every 9 minutes, and so forth. So this is Saturday, so around, I think it's like around 8, they start getting more intense. When they started getting really painful, I decided to call the hospital, and they told me to call again when my contractions are about 3-4 minutes apart. So this is around 8. So then I continue labouring, and my contractions are becoming more regular and more painful. So we'll get to about midnight to 1 a.m. I was like, nah, I'm ready to go to the hospital. So we'll go to the hospital, which was only about, how long was the drive? Probably like 8-10 minutes drive, which is pretty close. And get to the hospital, and I got seen by one of the midwives at the hospital. And then they measured me, and she told me I was 2 centimeters. I was like, okay, 2 centimeters. I wasn't ready for 2, but whatever. So then she said, okay, I can give you a membrane sweep just to, to get things going quicker. It was so painful. So she basically put her hand inside me, and she just put it in. And she was like that. I actually screamed in pain. I screamed in pain. I actually shed tears because I don't know if, actually I do know, because the consecutive sweeps that I got afterwards weren't as painful as that first one. So I got the membrane sweep, and then they sent me back home. So I continued having contractions all through Saturday night going into Sunday morning. I didn't sleep, and I tried to eat, and I could not eat anything. I couldn't keep anything down. Anything I tried to eat, I just threw up. The contractions, guys. Contractions? Because here's the thing. Okay, how can I explain it? You know when you kind of stub your toe and you feel the pain increasing and then it kind of goes down? That's kind of what a contraction is. You can feel it coming and your stomach muscles get tighter. Well, your uterus is tighter, and then it kind of reaches a peak of pain, and then it goes down, and then you have like some rest and relief for maybe about 10 minutes or however long they are apart. So this is now Sunday. I managed to eat. No, I didn't manage to eat. Guys, I was so hungry. Nothing went to plan, basically. So all throughout Sunday, my contractions would go from being 10 minutes apart to being maybe 4-5 minutes apart, and then they'll go back to being 10, 13, 15 minutes apart. It was just all over the place. I tried to go for a walk to the park, which is just behind my house, but I didn't want to traumatize kids or anybody else, because I'd walk and I'd have to just stop and basically stop moving just until the contraction went. So I reached the gate of the park and I was like, nah, let's go back home. So I came back home, and the only place I felt comfortable was in the car. So I sat in my car. This is now like Sunday evening, so I'm just sat in my car. I managed to kind of fall asleep a little bit, and then the contractions then became more intense. That pain, oh, the pain. Oh my days, I can't. Right now, I don't know how people have multiple children. Because, Anyway, I managed to fall asleep a few times, but yeah, the contractions just kept getting more intense. So I reached a point where I was like, okay, do you know what? Let's just go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital again, and I see a different midwife, and she measures me. Now, keep in mind, this is maybe about 24 hours later. I was expecting to hear maybe 5 centimeters, 8 centimeters. I was told, oh, Sonia, you're still 2 centimeters. The devastation. 2 centimeters. I've been through like 24 hours of pain, and I'm only 2 to 3 centimeters dilated. Cool. So they sent me back home, and they told me to have a bath and to stay upright and whatnot. So I got home, got in the bath. I stood in the shower for a bit, but the only comfortable position for me was to kind of be on my knees through each contractions. It's just a hot mess. I just couldn't keep anything down. Keep in mind, I haven't eaten since Saturday. I'm trying to take little sips of water, so I'm hungry and dehydrated. After midnight, I was like, do you know what? I'm done. I'm going to the hospital, and they're not sending me home. So changed into my going to the hospital outfit, which is in my hospital, what's my hospital bag video, if you watched it, and get to the hospital, and they measure me again, and Sonia is now 3 to 4 centimeters dilated. Honestly, I was like, Lord, please intervene, because I don't know how long I can do this. This time they admitted me because obviously I'd now been in labor for about 48 hours, and I was so happy because I was like, I would have fought because I wasn't going to go back home. So they admitted me, and I managed to get into the bath at the hospital. So I was in the bath for about, I don't know, maybe an hour, 2 hours tops. They then decided to move me into, because I was in the ward, so they then decided to move me into my own room, and I was like, okay, maybe things are moving along. And they decided to then kind of hook me up, so you know, the bands to kind of monitor baby's heart rate. And then I got an IV because I was so dehydrated. And then they decided to break my waters, because by then like my waters hadn't even broken, and they found that baby had done a poo, which can be quite risky. So I was on gas and air, and it was really nice because it kind of gave me like a little high, I kind of felt like I was floating. Okay, Papa. Oh, my baby. He sometimes cries in his sleep. Okay, let me get through this quickly before he wakes up. So should I get him? Let me just check on him. Okay, he's still sleeping. Where was I? So I was on the gas and air, and the gas and air kind of gave me like a really nice high. Okay, he's up. Baby, it's okay. It's okay, Papa. Okay. Yeah, so I was on the gas and air, and for about maybe 30 minutes. Sorry. So I'm on the gas and air for about 30 minutes, and because he had pooed, and obviously I was going through labour for too long, and the pain, I was just tired, I was hungry, I was dehydrated. So the doctors now come in, and then they start going through, you know, epidural. And, you know, for me, I really wanted to have a natural birth, just on gas and air. So as soon as I heard as soon as I heard them talk about epidural, I was like, yes, please, I'll have that. So then they proceeded to then give me the epidural, which meant I had to be super still, but it's hard to be still when you are going through contractions. So every time a contraction came, I had to tell them like, okay, contraction's coming, so they had to stop until the contraction had stopped. And it took a while to get the needle in because my spine wasn't straight. It's not straight, it kind of curves a little bit, which is the first time I've ever heard that about my spine. But apparently it's not an issue, so I have a curved spine. So then they managed to get the epidural in, which felt weird. Like I could feel almost like electric shocks in my legs, and then a weird sensation. I was basically numb from my toes up to probably my stomach, just underneath my boobs. Yeah, that's where I was kind of numb, so I couldn't feel contractions anymore. So I was like, I could smile and I was like, guys, contractions coming. That's gone because I couldn't feel anything, but you can still feel your muscles tightening, but the pain is not there, and the relief was absolutely amazing. Doctor comes back about 2-3 hours later after I've had my epidural, and they noticed that baby's heartbeat had dropped twice for no reason. So then they decided to kind of say that, you know, it will be safer. It's not an emergency, but for just to be on the safer side, to have a C-section. So I ended up having a C-section, which is just not in the plan. And it's so true. You can have your birth plan down to the T and nothing ever goes to plan. Even the food that I packed in my hospital bag, I never ate it until I got into recovery. It was just everything went out the window, guys. Like I'm just even when I look back at it now, I'm like, how did I last? And this is now going into Tuesday. So keep in mind, I started labor on Saturday and it's Tuesday. So yeah, they then took me into the operating room. They increased the dosage of the epidural, so I couldn't feel anything up to like underneath my armpit. Like I couldn't feel any pain. And they say that babies born via C-section, they don't cry as soon as they're taken out, but as soon as they took him out, he cried. And guys, I was a hot mess. I was like, my baby, it's okay, mommy's here. Or I was just crying non-stop. It's okay, baby, mommy's here, it's okay. And he was here, and that was the moment my life changed. I don't even know how to express the joy and the love this little boy brings to me. I love you. They took me into recovery, and that's basically my labor and delivery experience. 3.5 days, and my sister calculated I had over 600 contractions from beginning to end. If someone was to ask me if I'd go through that again, I probably would, because when they tell you that you forget the pain as soon as it's over, it's a lie. Well, for me, it's a lie, because I will never forget that pain for as long as I live. I would go through that experience again, for that moment that you hear that cry. It's just so surreal, because for over 9 months I could feel him kicking, and like, you know, obviously you have that bond during your pregnancy, but to actually see him and hold him in your arms, there's nothing like that. I thank God for him every day, and I thank God that is a healthy, bubbly, happy baby, and I'm just a proud mom. I don't know, just having somebody that depends on you utterly and completely is quite empowering, and I don't know, I have no words to express the love that I have for my little boy. My best friend, my bodyguard, you know, my little bouncer. And he's getting chunky as well. But yeah, he was born on May the 9th at 10:39, and he weighed 2.83 kgs, which is about 6 pounds, 6.12 pounds. Yeah. But yeah, that's basically my labor and delivery experience. To sum it up, 3.5 days and a C-section, but the reward is beyond words. I just look forward to the laughs and the growth that I'm going to just experience with my little human, Mr. Ethan. Yeah, so that's basically my experience. I still can't believe I went through 2.5 days of labor though. Like, what? What the hell? Why? Oh, jeez. Anyway, I will see you guys in my next video. All you mamas out there, how long was your labor? And what was the most challenging part about it? Yeah, I'd like to know. And also, how has being a mother changed you? Because for me, everything that I do just revolves around him. Any decision I make revolves around him, literally. I'm at his beck and call. Anyway, guys, I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.